Well, I make that timed absolutely spot on. Hold on, can we see little Kev properly? Let's turn that one. There we go. Hello, everybody. I'm just positioning little Kev. My microphone's not right this evening. It troubles me greatly. I don't know if it's the microphone that's wrong or the camera that's wrong. Something feels wrong. There's only one way to... I need to get paid for this. There's only one way to cheer myself up. That's gone all over my keyboard. That doesn't cheer me up even a little bit. Ah. Tom Wheeler, where's your drink, Kev? Don't worry, it's here. Tape little Kev to the mic. I could tape little Kev to the mic, but then when Stone Cold Steve Austin does a run-in to try and win the title off of him, we can't swap them over. So I now have to... He can't be taped. It's just not right. We'll give little Kev his title, though. That can go over his head like that. I wish I was sponsored by Pepsi Max. That would be amazing. Kev, camera turn to your right. My right. Hold on. Like that. That just takes a green screen out the occasion. You can see how untidy my desk is if I do that. I can't do that. How are the bruises? Oh, I tell you what, I don't know how well you can see them. That's the only one I can really show you without taking off my shirt. But yeah, it's... Oh, I tell you what, here's Kev's tip of the day. Don't slip in the shower and bang your head into a marble sink. Although, I'm taking full credit for this. I did tuck my chin and landed completely flat-backed, which is why I'm not injured. I took the bump like a champ. Talking of champs, I don't know where his belt's gone now. Oh, this is a disaster. The WWE title's gone, everybody. Here it is. Here it is. Worry not. Oh, right. We will get started doing some Football Manager now. Please don't take off. I won't take off my shirt, Tommy. Don't worry. Has Anna apologised? She hasn't. She went in the shower before me. Claims she didn't grease the bath. But how likely is that when I then slipped? I mean, come on. Right, let's get into the proper stream. A couple of people mentioned it. We mentioned it in a little pre-show chat bit as well. Fantasy football. I've started my FPL league. I put a video out on the YouTube channel to that today. If you play FPL, or even if you don't, get involved in the league. It's good fun. We did it last year. I'm actually going to take it a little bit more seriously this year and do updates and stuff on it. I'm not sure how regularly we'll do the updates, but there will be updates and it will be cool. Right, what have we got going on in the chat here? WrestleMania, Kev versus Shower, book it. Yeah, I'm not willing to just bump all day for a shower. The hotel actually rang me today to check I was all right, and I didn't really know how to answer because I thought, well, what if I want to sue you? What if you're recording this? I probably won't sue them. I'm not that much of a monster. Do you realise? What? I don't know why I couldn't walk the Humber Bridge. I'm confused. Check the FPL names. That's a worry. Someone been a rascal. It's weird. It is weird seeing me in this corner. I don't know why I'm in this corner for streams. I also don't know why the camera's all the way over there. Hold on. Let's move me over a little bit. Hold on. Position me there. Is that what you meant for me to do before? I'm not in line with the box now. That's no good. Hold on. Let's move the box. Move the image up above that. Hold on. I mean, this is stuff that some people would do pre-stream, but not me. I'm not going to do this pre-stream. I've lost the words now. There you go. Ever the professional. Whoo! Thanks for the tweets. Anyone who's tweeted this out, that's much appreciated. The more we get in, the more marvellous the world is. And talking of a marvellous world, Neville, thank you very much for your very kind donation. It is much appreciated. Thank you very much. Little Kev gives you a thumbs up. Hold on. There you go. I mean, that's the best you can get. It's a wrestling figure. He doesn't have movable thumbs. Let's get into some Football Manager. I don't actually remember where we were. This is saved from exactly where we were at the end of the YouTube video that I put out today. So we just played 2 games on YouTube, 2 fairly boring 1-0 wins. But the most important thing about the boring 1-0 wins is that they have left us 7 points clear at the top of the league after just 10 games. So we can have a little bit of fun this season because we're just far too good for this league. You had harsh words for Graham Wesley. That's because he's an idiot. Yeah, there you go. I was right. Shay Given's been sacked by Charlton. That's interesting. Who's Shay Given been managing up until this point? He's been at Stevenage, Wimbledon, Lincoln, Charlton. Sacked by all of them? No, just sacked by half of them. I mean, he might have a future in management then. Another clean sheet, yep, because we're that good. Lenihan did get sent off, so we'll just give him a little warning for being a rascal. And our star player, Ross Turns, needs a rest. Look, I'll tell you when to rest, young man. Let's give you a holiday, a 2-week holiday, because, I mean, he's our best player and we don't really need to have him around, and it makes sense to just keep him fit. So that's my plan. I'm going to turn. No, nobody is on the Neville level. Agreed. Graham Wesley thinks I'm out of order. I'm really sad about that. I'm all about pleasing Graham Wesley. Who are we playing next? We're going to be playing Port Vale. Oh, we're going to have that big game against Posh tonight, where I'll just mock their match day announcing all the way through. Just won't be up to the standards that they could have had. If only they'd hired me. Right, we're going to postpone a match. I like postponing matches. 6 players called it for internationals. Kev, if you want to run deep and financially well, invest. I mean, the youth's cracking. We've got loads of really good young players. The youth system is awesome, so there will be good players coming through. I've not tried Pepsi Max with ginger. That sounds nasty. I'm a Stoke fan. Go on, overload. We'll try and beat him, definitely. A 6-6 with Posh Tommy would be amazing. I put the stream from Thursday up on YouTube today just so people had the option to watch it. And I sat there and watched the 8-5 in full again. And goodness me, was that a ridiculous match. Why are we saying Shrewsbury and Sunderland? I'm really confused. But yeah, Shrewsbury and Sunderland. That as well. Why is the Twitch alerts thing at the bottom of the screen not updating? Hold on, let's give that a little kick. It's not working. Why is it not working? Just trying to sort out the Twitch alerts as you do. Because what we can't have... There we go, sorted. Because we couldn't possibly have a situation where Neville didn't get credit for his kind donation. But that's now fixed. I don't care that one of my players has been played out of position. Why would I care about that? I don't like his... I didn't even look at what his style of football is. I just decided I probably didn't like it. Who am I even dissing? Somebody called Kevin, so he can't be that bad. But I've not actually read who it is. In my experience, just click the second from top on press conferences. You rarely go far wrong. This is why I don't mess around with the team talks and stuff like that, because if press conferences are as simple as just pressing the same option over and over again, then I guess team talks are going to be the same. It's all stuff that I'd just as happily not have in the game, I think. Yes, I believe in my players and their abilities. And yes, we want to give him a 45-minute per game instruction. Godzilla going to London Road for the first time this season to see Blackpool. Marvellous. I went to Blackpool for the first time to see the stadium a couple of weeks ago, and it was very splendid. Get assistant to do the press conferences. I could get the assistant to do the press conferences, but I've tried that in the past, and they just mess it up spectacularly. So I don't. What's the try overload and very fluid. I'm going to try whatever my silly assistant manager tells me to try. Are we going to postpone another match? Let's see if we can just postpone all the matches forever. I don't even know what matches we're postponing here. Because we are playing this match right now. The assistant is rubbish. The assistant, I like having a rubbish assistant. It's part of the fun of playing Football Manager, having a terrible assistant manager. I wouldn't have it any other way. Right. How's Lucas doing? Should we have a look to see how Lucas is doing? Lucas is... There's a lot of Lucases. Lucas... Is it EI? Oh, we tried to get him earlier on, didn't we? In the first stream, I think we tried to sign him as our assistant manager and he wasn't interested. We'll get him eventually. As long as he doesn't retire, We will get him. I want a 7 for judging ability as my assistant manager. I'm not going to sack my assistant. He's great. No, this one's brilliant. I like having a nobody as my assistant. Right. So we've got a suspended player, a player on holiday, because that's a thing apparently. We'll get them auto-picked, but we're also going to make sure we get Ricky Martin in the team. So Ricky Martin can slot straight in there as the ball-winning midfielder, try and get himself a red card. We're not going to play Blackmore in midfield. I don't know why our stupid assistant manager insists on trying to put Blackmore in midfield, so we can bring Abrams back in and play him there now. And then we just need to stick whichever striker we just took out of the team on the bench. Who was it? Why is Geordie Shaw not in this team? Is he not fit? That's fine. I can live with Geordie Shaw not being in the team. What we do need, though, is Kevin Chapman and Kevin Owens both on the bench. So let's solve that little problem. That'll do nicely. Yeah, of course, we're playing Ricky Martin. Blackmore might be the new Burgess, but for now, I think he's potentially our best striker. So we're going to keep hold of him for the moment as a striker. Is London Road? London Road's awesome. I love London Road. It's a wonderful place. I hear there's a really good behind-the-scenes tour of London Road on YouTube that you could watch. It's excellent stuff. We're going to get our lone player as captain today, which is always something I'm not very keen on. Right, here we go. We're away from home against Port Vale. Yeah, Geordie Shaw's a substitute. That's fun. I don't mind resting him occasionally. We did play in midweek. Ricky Red Martin. Dave, my knee's not too bad, actually. If there's one good thing to come out of being hit with a hotel, it's that I don't know if it's fixed my knee or if just other stuff now hurts more than my knee, but I'm not really noticing the knee pain at the moment. The Eternal User prefers Sixfields over London Road. Is that the one that you get free with Sabutio? It sort of just stands up. Is that the one? I think that's the one, isn't it? Bless it. Little shoebox stands. Oh, it is. To be fair, Sixfields is an adorable little place, so I can understand that. Casamore. I was expecting a joke there, a dad joke. So I saw Went to Birmingham and stopped reading, and then had a little look at the rest of it and saw it was a genuine, actual discussion rather than just a dad joke. You've got yourself such a dad joke reputation that I didn't even read the rest of your message. I didn't get the job, Aviv, I'm afraid. Very sad. Fleming, is the stream working? I think so. If you can hear me, then you probably already know. If you can't, I'm confused. Never welcome to the private FPL League. If anyone else wants to get involved in the private FPL League, I'm sure one of our esteemed moderators will post the link again that was posted earlier on. Giannig 78 Grant, is that what it says? Anyway, thank you for your donation. I need to make this little screen bigger that tells me when stuff like that happens. Hold on. While you lot are showering them with love in the chats, I'm going to try and check on my screen the name of the person who just donated. It is massively appreciated. I just couldn't read it properly. There you go, Giannig. Thank you very much. That is much appreciated. You're a wonderful, wonderful human being. I thank you, thank you, thank you. To be fair, it did spark us conceding a goal. So, yeah. Tom Wheeler, don't put in a complaint to Posh. I'm in discussions with them about other stuff. I'm quite comfortable with the decision they made. I'm not bothered. I couldn't do it every week anyway. This other guy wants to do it every week. They've already said that they've got me as first reserve, so if he can't do it, they'll draft me in, and they've got, well, between us, we've got some ideas for some other stuff that we could do to work together over the course of the season. So, yeah, no complaints to Posh. Kev, I agree. The Eternal User, we need to just... You're a Northampton fan. I am sorry. I didn't know. I feel really bad for you. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. If there's anything I can do to help you through this troubled time, just let me know. Where did I find out about the job? I don't know, Twitter maybe, or maybe someone told me about it. I don't actually remember how I found out about it. Jack, I'm not unemployed. I'm self-employed. In fact, you've already been corrected by Casimir in there, which is excellent. Do I go to many Peterborough games? Not as many as I used to, and it's the reason that I think the reason I didn't get the announcer job. It's because it clashes with a lot of the other stuff that I do through the podcast and through this new business, this YouTube thing that I'm doing. There's a lot of stuff that I have to do that sort of clashes with it. So we've got all the gaming expos and things that I go to that I know the videos that I do for them. It doesn't look like I enjoy them very much, but I do love them, and I do a lot of networking stuff off camera that allow me to sort of build relationships with the game companies and score my freebies and do that behind the scenes networking stuff that doesn't make for a good video, but it is important to what I do. And there's more of that going to be coming over the course of the next season as well. So if anything, I'm probably going to get along to less games than I have done previously. Certainly between now and Christmas, there's probably only 2 or 3 games that I'm certain at this stage I can go to on a Saturday. The midweek ones are fine. Saturdays are difficult though. Turtle came over. I'm glad you enjoyed the whole vlogs. I enjoyed making them. I would like to do more stuff like that. Unfortunately, it's difficult to get along to all these other places. You have to pay to get to them. It's very frustrating. How am I finding being self-employed? To be fair, at the moment, I'm officially still employed, so I'm not on the breadline yet because I'm still getting paid by work until the end of August. So although I'm not going to work anymore, I'm not really self-employed yet. So at the moment, it's absolutely fine. Yeah, self-employed when I get 2p a video. To be fair, it's not really the videos that make the money. I guess if I was filling in an official form, I would call myself an author who also does YouTube as well, because I make more money out of books than I do out of YouTube. Hopefully, long term, that changes. I certainly spend more time on YouTube and enjoy YouTube more, but it's books that are going to be paying the bills. I can't take Ricky Martin off. What am I thinking? It's books that are going to be paying the bills long term for now. There you go. Kevin Owens is coming on at left back. Who's trying and what legal problems? I'm lost. Sometimes the chat is Lollujo an official. Lollujo is an official company. Lollujo Limited is a limited company that I am the director of. So again, if I was going to give myself my official title, I guess I'm a company director these days of Lollujo Limited, of which I am then also an employee of. So I don't actually know how that is legally. Am I self-employed or am I employed but also an owner of the company, or the owner of the company? I might have to speak to my man who helps me with these things about that, and he can explain what my actual legal status is. I think I'm self-employed, but I don't really know. I don't think that's a massive problem at this stage. Fingers crossed. The shout out. Yeah, I enjoyed the shout out to Kevin Thompson. Sharad, thank you very, 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 very much. Double thumbs up. Thank you very much. Awesomeness. That's amazing. Thank you for the donation. It is much appreciated. It does help with the whole going to be self-employed very soon thing, to have money appearing and being able to pile up for when I suddenly realise having a salary was quite useful, and then it's going to go away. Long-term Patreon. Yeah, Patreon makes roughly the same amount as YouTube at the moment. If I think most months I get roughly equal amounts from Patreon, and luckily those equal amounts are roughly increasing in line with each other each month as well. So Patreon and YouTube are roughly level. If Twitch carries on the way it started off, it'll be bigger than both of them. I think a lot of it is people just being very, very generous because it's new and shiny and exciting. I can't imagine we're going to maintain the current level of donations that we've been getting for the last week, because that's crazy. Everyone's been very generous. But it's, my spreadsheet tells me it's the biggest earner of the last week, certainly. Yeah, I'm technically still a teacher until the last day of August, definitely. Yeah, I am. Well, yeah, I'm the I think my official title that I put on the forms was that I'm the managing director of Lollujo. I am running WWE. It's a difficult job. Oh, it's Kevin Nolan I was picking on before the match. There we go. We did play well. Excellent stuff. Now we've got another. Why is everyone getting tired? Are our coaches just rubbish? We might need to have a look at the coaches, because we're going to have to send someone else on holiday now, and it's our best players. And as much as I like to be a generous manager who sends his players on holiday, I think we need to sort the coaching out. There you go. That'll do it. And maybe rest our players between games a little bit more. And rotate the team a little bit more might be necessary. Stop letting my assistant pick it all the time, because as we know, he's a buffoon. I didn't get Black Tipex. I have got a Black Sharpie. It's still over there, so I haven't fixed Little Kev yet. I do plan to. I was thinking about that earlier, but I then forgot to do it because I'm a silly bear. Can I check Stephen Ireland's career? I can check Stephen Ireland's career. Stephen doesn't exist unless it's with a V. Stephen Ireland. No, Stephen Ireland doesn't exist. Kevin Thompson is head of goalkeeping at Lollujo. He is, absolutely. What's the biggest donation was an absolutely ridiculous £50 from Matt Deakin last week, which is why he now has a player named after him, Damien. It was just absolutely nuts. So Lollujo Limited will be bigger than Apple. That would be nice, wouldn't it? When's the next Total Extreme Wrestling episode due? It's officially due tomorrow. I haven't planned it, recorded it, or edited it yet, though, so it might end up being Wednesday. With being away, my plan was I was going to get home from Hull yesterday lunchtime, and then it even has it on my board over there that I was going to do the Total Extreme Wrestling videos and FIFA videos for the week. So 2 of each, plus the FPL one for today, and have it all recorded in advance, because then we've got a busy week again. I'm at Alton Towers on Wednesday with the kids. I'm at Summer in the City on Friday. I don't have masses of time to fit in the extra videos this week, but I will endeavour to get Total Extreme Wrestling recorded in the morning so I can get it out tomorrow. There might just be 1 episode of each this week, though. We'll have to see how it turns out. When you get subscriptions on Twitch, you will then get that regular. That would be awesome. The more little years ago, I read a book called Income Streams or something like that. It was something like, or it had income streams as a major concept within it, and that's generally what I'm trying to do with this business. Have as many different little income streams as I can. I don't want to rely on just one platform. I think if I was just a YouTuber who only earned money from YouTube ad revenue, that would be terrifying. But because YouTube is just a portion, a stream, it means that if that part of it goes wrong, or if Patreon closed down, or if Twitch stopped for whatever reason, then there's these different income streams as well. And yeah, it would lead to a difficult couple of months, but it gives you that little bit of breathing space to make other stuff happen in the meantime. So income streams is definitely the way forward. Matt Quine, that is ridiculous that you've gone up to $50 a month on Patreon. That's much appreciated and insane, so thank you very much for that. I think we officially have to do a video together or something as part of that. I think that was the reward for the $50 tier. I haven't looked at it for a long time, but we'll figure something out. We'll perhaps do a draft together or something. Yes, Neville, the Great American Bash is coming. Is that the next video? If it is, then it will definitely be tomorrow, because that is already planned out. Because I plan the pay-per-views. Like, the way I plan Total Extreme Wrestling is I plan out all the pay-per-view matches and results in advance in a big spreadsheet for like 3 months. But then Raw and SmackDown I book on the fly, and I find them a lot harder to do, actually. So, yeah, if it is a pay-per-view, then it will definitely be tomorrow, because I'll get that done in the morning. And thank you for designing the logo for me. It's much appreciated. Right, we're doing a Mickey Mouse Cup competition, so we're going to go full rotation. Get the under-23s, the under-18s in here. Let's get a bunch of kids out on the pitch against Middlesbrough's bunch of kids, and just rotate our faces off. What am I doing? I would love to have a Pepsi sponsorship. That would be amazing. Oh, hold on. I have a text message from Anna. Oh, she's asking me about food shopping. 1 moment, please. Splendid. There we go. That's replied to that. Yeah, we'll probably raid One True Nerd again tonight. Damien, I'm confused. Have I missed something earlier in the chat? It just says, did I donate? Don't know what that means. Oh, the chat's moving so fast again. No dad jokes. No dad jokes. Lollujo Limited has been taken to court less times than Ronaldo. It has. I forgot to ask for sponsors. I'd like some sponsors, please. Does Anna bring any? Not yet. Well, she gets like carer's allowance for looking after Andy. But that's, I mean, that is, it's pathetically low, really. The whole benefit system for disabled people and disabled parents, disabled children, is a bit of a joke. But she is going to be going to university, so she'll be having student finance and stuff coming in, so that will help as well. So again, multiple income streams. Although we don't really know how that works, because we've got to fill in the student finance application stuff, and they need to know what my income's going to be, and I have absolutely no idea what my income's going to be. Oh, hold on. She's just saying, okay. I have got my phone muted, but my MacBook's turned on because I'm rendering the vlog, so the stupid noises are coming through that. I think I might contact Pepsi about sponsorship. I'd happily take Pepsi on as a sponsor. Hup love. Hey Kev, can you read this? I can read this. No dad jokes. Play Kevin Star Striker Chapman in Mickey Mouse Trophy. Did I even have him on the bench? I think I just hit auto pick rotate thing. Probably haven't even got him in the squad. I'll take Coke or Pepsi. I'm not bothered. How late do I stay up recording? All like Loki, or do you stop? When I was still working, I would be up till like 1 AM. I usually start, well, this is old schedule, when I was doing a full-time job as well. I would start about 8 in the evening and work through till about 1 AM. These days, though, I need to mute my MacBook. Hold on. These days, I do it all in the day, usually. The only time I'm up in the evening doing it is when I'm streaming. Deliberately, as part of the whole making this the thing I do full-time, I write in the morning, make videos in the afternoon, and it's working so far, which is fine by me. I need to tell Anna not to buy full-fat Pepsi. That's crazy. I'll get some in Tesco, because they have Pepsi Max in there. Get Kevin Chapman in the team. Kevin Chapman is not on the bench, so you can't even get in the team. Get Chip Spice. I can't believe we didn't. That was the big disappointment about the hotel attacking me over the weekend, because we kind of missed lunch. I didn't get the chance to have Chip Spice. Very upsetting. Yeah, Darth, Joey, Jojo, Anna is doing. I forget the full name of the course she's going to be doing. It is something along the lines of crime scene investigation, though. She is going to be a proper CSI, which means I need to start behaving myself. 916 fans. That's amazing. Get the hotel I stayed in to sponsor me or threaten to sue them. I mean, I could sue them. I think it'd be really unfair if I did, because the bath mat slipped out from under me. It's not really anybody's fault. It's just one of those things. If anything, I should sue the company that made the bath mat. 5 of how many Pepsi Max? It was a 5 for 24 cans of Pepsi Max in Tesco when I was in there earlier. That's why I've told her not to get it on the delivery, because we don't want to be paying normal delivery prices for beverages when I can go and get them from down the road very cheap. Right, make a couple of little substitutions. There we go. He wants to be deep lying. I can live with deep lying. You're asking how much you donated before, Damien. I can probably look that up. Hold on. Can I look that up? I don't know. I'll try and look it up after this match. The whole database for Robotic Kev got deleted, and that's where it would have been stored, but it was on the hard drive that got broken that One True Nerd fixed in a car park for me, or replaced. But I think I could probably look on my PayPal and find out, but might not do that on stream just in case I accidentally stream my PayPal to you all. Where are we looking? Do you have any specific plans to increase your sub count on YouTube? Not really. Just keep making good videos and hope the people come. It's not the most scientific of plans, but it seems to have worked so far. I think if we pretend Loki Doki doesn't exist, based on my tracking, it's the fastest Football Manager YouTube account. Okay, you have to pretend Loki and Dr. Benji don't exist, because Ben had that massive boost from being a streamer to begin with, and then Loki's just exploded over the last year. But if you take that, I'm third in terms of rates of growth, and I can live with that. Hopefully, by introducing FIFA onto the channel, that'll add a few more subs as well. But I don't really just want to bring in a whole load of people who are just there for FIFA and have Football Manager get drowned out, because that's not really what I want the channel to be. But it was never, certainly from maybe 3 or 4 months in, the plan was never for it to be just Football Manager all the time, which is why I do other games as well now. So it's about striking the right balance. I think the football games documentary series that I'm currently writing and getting ready to release around about the time that the 2 new games come out, FIFA and Football Manager, this year's versions, I think they've got the potential to bring in a lot of people, so that should be pretty cool. You should have thrown the bath mat out the window and sued them. I'm not a monster. Yeah, Ben asked me for if you can get me a sponsorship from Tesco, I'll be all over that. Can I explain my tactic? I wish. I don't think anyone can explain my tactic. It just kind of appeared over the course. I think, was it when we were at Southend or before then? I think making good videos is as good a plan as any. It's a good starting point. I would potentially stream FIFA. I think my difficulty with streaming FIFA, which is the reason I'm making the FIFA videos the way I do at the moment, is I find it really, really difficult to play FIFA whilst talking about playing FIFA. With Football Manager, it's a little bit different, because like with how I'm interacting with you lot at the moment, it's fairly easy to just sort of press the space bar and not worry about Football Manager for 20 seconds and look at the chat or look at the camera and talk to you lot. You can't really do that with FIFA. I'm not against doing it, but I think I need to find a way to do it that works, and I'm not sure I've figured that out yet. So until I figure that out, it'll just be on YouTube, and it'll be pre-recorded stuff that I then do voice over afterwards, because I think it's the only way I can make videos about FIFA that are any good at the moment. Destiny 2 is a game I'm planning on playing. I've got it pre-ordered. I don't know if it'll make it to YouTube or Twitch or both or neither. It depends if I enjoy it when it comes, and it depends if I'm any good at it, which I probably won't be. Kyle, I've not seen anyone else complain about the stream, so hopefully it's okay for most people. If it's buffering for you, just shake your device, whatever you're using it on. Give it a shake like it's an Etch-a-Sketch, and that should fix it, I hear. Huplove, you're probably the only one that realised Borough changed their tactic. I certainly didn't notice. Anna and the kids are marvellous, thank you. Would I ever employ someone to do your editing, Kev, so I could spend more time with Anna and the kids? Probably not, because I think the gaming videos, I mean, the one I might do that for is maybe FIFA, because those FIFA videos at the moment, that are like 10 minutes long, they're about an hour's worth of recording that's then edited down to about 10 minutes that I then talk over the top of. So it's quite intense, time intensive. That being said, I'm not sure I'd trust anyone else to do it the way I'd want it doing. So I think I need to go through that process of editing it myself, so I know what to say when I do the voiceover. So it probably wouldn't save that much time anyway. And with Football Manager and Total Extreme Wrestling, I think Loki summed it up really well when he did his How to YouTube video. For games like the ones we play, I certainly don't edit my Football Manager videos. Full disclosure, 99 times out of 100, I don't even watch them back before I put them out. I I sort of self-correct and self-edit as I go. If I make a mistake, I stop recording and then start recording again, so I know that I just need to snip out that mistake. But I don't sit and watch a 20-minute Football Manager video before releasing it. It's literally for me a case of slapping the face cam on, doing the green screen stuff, which I could do on OBS and get it all done automatically, but I prefer the effect of doing it on a proper camera and doing it manually. But I don't need to even do that. And then slapping on the jingles and just sort of chopping it down to size. But I can edit a Football Manager video in 2 or 3 minutes. And the vlog, that I have to edit that. I couldn't have someone else edit the vlog for me, because 80% of the storytelling comes from how you edit together the footage you've taken over the course of the day, and it wouldn't be mine if someone else edited that. At Tottenham, I think I started using Tottenham before. Started using this tactic way before Tottenham, didn't I? Maybe. Easy next game. Who have we got next game? Oh, exciting next game. Tom Wheeler, I don't want anyone to edit for me. I don't know. I think I'll probably continue. I don't need someone to. Rang Latang, thank you very much for your donation. That is much appreciated. Round of applause, thumbs ups. Who's going to we'll have a thumbs up from Brett the Hitman Hart. There you go. It looks like he's shaking his fist at you. He's not really. That was a thumbs up. He just doesn't have proper thumbs. Am I going to play WWE 2K18 on the channel? Probably not. I don't really like the WWE 2K whatever games. I think the last one I played was 2K15. I didn't really enjoy it. I get them every year, apart from this year, obviously, because I haven't played it. But I think it's just become free on PlayStation Plus or something, hasn't it? So I'll probably give it a try. I don't really enjoy them, and I'm terrible at them. I used to love the old N64 WWE games, but since then they just all got a little bit samey. I have got Fire Pro Wrestling World. They were nice enough to send me a review copy of that, but it's so hard. I haven't even made it out of the tutorial on that yet. I need to give that a little bit of time before I decide whether to start making videos for it. Yeah, I think it was Southend when we started using the 4312. Kev, could you stream an episode then upload it? Not whilst making. I couldn't do something that was a good stream and a good YouTube video. They're two completely different beasts, which I think you'll see if anyone's watched the stream replay, or if anyone's watching this on a stream replay now. It doesn't make much sense as a standalone YouTube video, because it's almost constantly me chatting with you lot, and if you can't see the chat and you're not involved in that interaction in the chat, it just becomes a guy talking to himself and not really focusing on playing the game properly. So I think because of the nature of how I stream compared to how I do YouTube videos, I think they have to be done separately. Jason Odendahl. Anyway, forget how we pronounce you. Thank you very much for your very kind donation. Hold on, I'm running out of wrestling figures here. Luckily, I do have Lord Stephen Regal. However, because of his coat, I can't get him to put his arm up. So he's just going to nod at you knowingly, as if to say thank you very much. Because he does mean it. He wants to thank you very much. That's awesome. Let's shower everybody with love down in the comments, in the chat. We're on Twitch. Cool. Chat here, not comments. Thank you. Seriously, the donations mean a huge amount. They, yeah, it is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, don't use your dad's credit card to donate. That's a definite. When people do that, you end up not being able to do Twitch for 10 months when you're working as a teacher. No more information needed about that. My favourite soda, any sugar-free cola flavour. And no, forget that nonsense. Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is the king of beverages. Clan's here. Everyone's saying hello to Clan. Hello, Clan. Hello, Clan. Thanks for popping in, sir. Eternal user. Exactly. Help pay Kev's bills. Kev's bills need paying. And I appreciate the fact that I'm getting help paying them. So it's amazing. No one's getting banned for a love shower. This is a family friendly channel. We can say love shower here and it can be completely innocent. I'm watching Ron Manager. Oh, Greeny, goodness me. I was so ashamed of my football club for that big Ron Manager thing. The only good thing to come out of that was that... I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the terrible joke that's just appeared underneath it. The only good thing... I thought Fulham had poached one of my players there, but it was just giving him a contract. The only good thing that came out of that documentary is that Darren McAntony watched it as well and then came and bought our club. Presumably to stop any more terrible TV shows like that being made. Yes, good, all that stuff. Eternal user, thank you. I'm glad that you agree with my drinks choice. Dr. Pepper is the beverage of kings. Does Ronaldo still interfere? Yeah, mate. What? I don't get that. Have I missed something? Ipswich last year was the birth of the... Yeah, but it didn't last very long, I don't think, the 4-3-1-2. I don't think it lasted a long time at Ipswich. We kind of became a diamond fairly... When we were successful, it was with a diamond, I think, if I recall. Klein, I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you? Blackpool... Now I understand, JJ Duncan. I don't know, should we see what Ronaldo's up to? It would be nice if in this alternate universe we could give him a job. So he's an assistant manager. Only an assistant manager, eh? Now it's a race to see who's going to want to come to us first, Lucas or Ronaldo. There's lots of YouTube videos in the chat. Cool. I'm struggling to keep up with this chat tonight. Great effort. Jason, I'm going to say it wrong the second time. Jason, I'm glad I said it right. Thank you. I can't remember how I said it, but thank you. Yeah, Ronaldo did follow me around the leagues until we started to move up them, and then he just couldn't keep up. Right. Hold on. Crack the knuckles. Stretch a little bit. Oh, this is the big one. Peterborough United versus Deeping Rangers. Oh, right. Let's do this properly. What does my stupid assistant think we should do? Got to have a little swig of Pepsi Max to keep us going to begin with. Leo da Silva Lopez is fit. Excellent. Probably not going to play him because obviously we need to get Ricky Martin in the team as per the rules. But we'll get da Silva Lopez on the bench against his old club because it would be crazy not to. So he can move onto the bench. Let's get rid of all the kids. We don't want kids involved in this. This is our big local derby. I don't know if local rivals develop organically over time in game. I didn't set Posh up as a rival when I started the save because it seemed a bit silly for a tier 9 team to have a rival who were way, way above them. Just like in real life, they're not a rival. They're kind of like the big brother down the road who looks after him. But now we'd be rivals, wouldn't we? Imagine all the Posh fans we've poached over the years. Right, Wayne Blackmore's on the bench. I can probably live with that. Logan's on the bench. That's a big shout. I'm not sure if I'm on board with that. Although, no. I'm overruling you, assistant manager. This is a big game. It's not a time for experimentation. Same with Canedo. We're going to get Geordie Shaw back in the team because Geordie Shaw is where the goals is at. We'll do that. And I think that's going to be the team to take on Peterborough United. There's such a variety of potential scorelines in the chat. That's insane. Yeah, it's either going to be 0-0 or 6-6. There's no middle ground in this game, surely. I don't care who Scott Lacey is. And they've got another Lacey up front. Anyway, they've got loads of Laceys. Why do they need 2? Seems silly. Yeah, there you go. Stretch my back out. Oh, the doctor did tell me I have to keep taking deep breaths as well so I don't end up with a lung infection or something because they were worried that I had a collapsed lung when I went into hospital on Saturday morning. But apparently I didn't. I was just being a big girl's blouse. When was the last time you faced Posh? Well, I don't know. It must have been... When was the last time we were down in League One? It wouldn't have been Southend. There was another club after that. Plymouth. Were Plymouth the last one before Ipswich? We're already losing. Mr. Snake in the Grass. I don't actually know what his real name is because he just became Mr. Snake in the Grass so easily. I can't edit it into the database because I don't have the editor. You have to pay for the editor, don't you? Which I don't have. So No. Matt Deakin! What a free kick from Matt Deakin. Makes it 1-1. The 6-6 is alive, everybody. It's happening. We all know we're going to get a 6-6 here. Look at this strike from Matt Deakin. What a goal. Blackpool. I don't think Blackpool weren't the most recent team before Ipswich, were they? It was Plymouth before Ipswich. I'm sure it was. That save's been going on for so long I can't remember the order it all happened in. But I think Blackpool was before Plymouth. Because Blackpool were only out for about a year, weren't we? Maybe? Southend, Plymouth, Ipswich, Spurs. Yeah, with Hamilton and stuff in between. I'll be able to tell who you are in FPL. That sounds ominous. I'll have a look. I haven't actually seen how many people have got involved. I was quite sad that I had to delete last year's league because I tried to move it over but didn't write down the code. Couldn't work out how to get the code. But there was like 300 people in it from last year. And I wanted to just bring everyone across. But I guess it's more fun this way, seeing how the channel's grown from last year. We got 300 people last year, when this time last year, I think there was about 4,000 subs on the channel this time last year. Yeah, because we hit 5,000 a few weeks before FM17 came out. A couple of months before Loki Doki did. Also hit 10,000 before him. I think we'll struggle to hit 20,000 before him. But I don't think that race is dead yet, is it? Right, let's have a look at the league. Have we got more than 300 people in it? Is there an easy way for me to tell? Right, that's not more than 300 people yet. That's to be. I mean, considering the video's been out, what, 2 hours? That's quite a few people. Right, 2-1 at half time. Yeah, the list is, and I would love a 6-6. Who's what? Why are we slipping in showers? Kev, the names. My missus wants to stay there. She liked the view of the bridge. It was called the Hallmark Hotel. It's actually in North Ferriby rather than in Hull. It's like 5 or 6 miles outside of the centre of Hull. But yeah, the views of the bridge were awesome. We were sat there eating breakfast, looking out and seeing the bridge. It was very cool, and having that big area outside to just mess around and fly the drone in, bigger than a football pitch. It was very cool. Yeah, the view of the bathroom ceiling is amazing. If you stay in room 220, I think was the one we were in, the sign on the wall where they say make sure you use a bath mat so you don't slip over, presumably they've now drawn around that in a black permanent marker and pointed arrows at it. Even though I did use the bath mat, I maintain it's the bath mat that did it, because the bath mat slipped. If I hadn't have used a bath mat, I don't think I'd have slipped. So I think their advice telling me to use a bath mat directly caused the accident to happen. Hello, Gubbins. Is there a limit to how many people can join? I don't think there is. I agree. Ricky Martin, just bearing in mind we were deliberately trying to sign someone to get sent off every game. He just quietly goes about his business every game, being a quite effective defensive midfield player and never even getting yellow cards, never puts a foot wrong. For a 1.5-star player, he's going to end up being player of the season. Ricky Martin is on a 6.2. Yeah, of course he is, because he's Ricky Martin. But he'll play every minute of every game, and that'll be enough to get him player of the year. Signing of the season. Just he's on a 6.1 now. Okay, perhaps he doesn't quietly get on with his business. He just quietly doesn't get involved in the game at all, and puts lots of feet wrong. Oh, I thought that was flying into the top corner there from Salvador. You can't stand in hotel bathrooms. Wow. I thought I was tall. How much is 1.96 meters in old man measurements? I'm 6'2", which I think works out at about 182 centimeters. So, what's that? You're like 4 inches taller than me. That's pretty tall. Yeah, I'll concede that you are a tall person. Any chance I'm going to go to 6 fields? I don't think I'll fit in. I can only go to full-size football grounds. I don't fit in tiny little Subbuteo stadiums. Have I recently taken out life insurance? No, but my death in service benefit from work expires at the end of August. So there's a chance she's trying to kill me off before that, because, I mean, that's worth like 150,000, I should think. So there's every chance she's trying to kill me off while she still gets that as a lump sum and then still gets my teacher's pension. So if you notice me have any more accidents, please phone the police and tell them it was her. She just wants the money. 6'4". Okay, so not that much taller than me. I can stand up in hotel bathrooms. I think you're staying in the wrong hotels if a 6'4" person can't stand up in the bathroom. I can jump up and down in hotel bathrooms. I sometimes bang my head on the sink, but they're usually separate instances. Without the fall in the bath, the weekend in Hull was good. It wasn't as good as we'd hoped, mainly because, I mean, when we booked it, we were planning on being there by lunchtime on Friday. Oh, last minute equaliser. No. Yeah, when we booked it, we were planning on getting there Friday lunchtime, doing what we ended up doing Saturday afternoon on Friday afternoon, so just having an explore, and then spending Saturday afternoon finding really cool stuff to do. As it turned out, we only really got that initial 4 or 5 hour explore, and then we were coming home. So it just felt a little bit like it didn't really happen the way we wanted it to, which was a bit of a shame. But what we did was fun. The city itself reminded me an awful lot of Peterborough. I don't think it was anything special. I didn't see any major culture stuff. So I don't know, it was like Peterborough with a big bridge in it. Perhaps we just... but, I mean, that's not really fair when we only had 4 hours there. So the hotel was lovely. The area we stayed in was lovely. The city itself... that shopping centre thing we went to on Friday night was awesome, with the cinema and the rock climbing wall and the arcade and the really cool restaurant that does donut burgers and peanut butter fries. That was all very cool. Yeah, Anna can then cover up the accident as a CSI. I forgot all about that. Oh, have we had any more luck with Andy's school? Not really. We're hopefully, well, we are in the process of appointing a personal assistant, but progress on that seems to be achingly slow. I actually need to chase that up in the morning. Good remembering. I believe it's important. Yes, we played the game the right way. Yeah, not too disappointed overall. Did I notice that Luton were catching us up on points, though? Didn't we start today's stream like 10 points clear at the top of the league? We've only got one game in hand on them. We're only 2 points clear. Have we just been drawing a lot of games? No. How is that? I don't understand how that's happened. Did Luton have loads of games in hand before? Oh, Ross turns his... He's just come back from a holiday. This lad's useless. We'll send him on holiday again then. I mean, I thought he was good. It turns out he just wants to be on holiday all the time. If we have a look at this, he's had... What has he had? International duty. But he's been on holiday, come back from one game. He's played one game in 3 weeks, and now he's on holiday again. Rubbish. Who out of the FM community would win a Royal Rumble? Me. I would. Because I proved that the weekend I can tuck my chin and take a flat back bump. So I think they're the qualities you need to win a Royal Rumble. I would suggest, is there anyone heavier than me in the FM community? Certainly amongst the YouTubers. I don't know if there's anyone else in the 20 Stone Club, is there? So I think it has to be me. I've got this sewn up. We might have to hold a Royal Rumble when we do this unannounced mystery event in Nottingham in September. See, I'm gradually releasing more and more information. When we do this event, that obviously it'd be unprofessional of me to talk about at this stage, but when that event happens in Nottingham on the 16th of September, we'll have to arrange that. That would be very cool. YouTubers Royal Rumble. Yes, we went to the Deep. The Deep was really cool. I liked the Deep a lot. Gubbins, £4 for the cinema is insane. I couldn't believe that. We were sat there having dinner and I just said, there's a cinema over there. I'll just see what time Planet of the Apes is on. And then I saw that it was £4. It's mad. But the other cinema, there's another cinema the other side of town that was $4.99. It wasn't just that was a cheap cinema. It seems people in the north can watch movies for nothing. It's mad. Greenie, you went to uni in Hull, got burgled 4 times, and someone... Wow, that's nice. Can we have an online game on Twitch? I'm confused. What now? So we were 7 points clear. Okay. It's Chapman from the top rope. Exactly. Curly Doobie would win the Royal Rumble. Nah. Yeah, 20 stone is nearly 300. And well, yeah, I think nearly 300 pounds, Jerome. I think. Viking Dan is 123 kilos. That's less than me as well, I think, isn't it? I think I'm about 130. Does that sound about right? I'm not looking up Adam Johnson. No, I'm not. There is a large harbour in Hull with a big bridge over it, I think. I assume that's all part of the same place. Yeah, well, Jay, I think is it Jay? JBK? €12 to go to the cinema in Dublin. That's comparable to what it is in Peterborough. I mean, our cinema's just had a big makeover, and the only seats you can get in our cinema now are ones with recliners and like footrests and all sorts of fancy stuff. So they are nice seats, but it means that the cheapest cinema ticket in Peterborough now is about £12. Yeah, €10 for the cinema. See, that's more than I have to pay, but a lot. Sorry, that's less than I have to pay, but a lot more than it costs in Hull. I mean, it would almost, if you wanted to see 3 or 4 movies in Holland, it'd almost be cheaper to fly over to Hull and watch them, because presumably you can fly from Holland to Hull for £30, I guess. I don't actually know how cheap it is, but I know it doesn't cost a lot of money for a flight like that. So save up all the movies you want to watch and save money by flying to Hull to watch them. Oh, Tom Wheeler. No. Might have to ban dad jokes completely. Where's Akin Fenwa? Probably retired. We're way in the future. Yeah, doesn't exist anymore. The final 2 in the Royal Rumble would be Curly and Anna. Probably. But then Anna's going to kill her. Anna's vicious. It's Anna from the block. Her Nottingham roots. She'd tear us all apart. Kyle, you have family in Hull. I don't think it's awful there. I've been to worse places. Luton, for example. Apologies to anyone from Luton. I've only ever been there once. Didn't care for it. My Twitch stream, best thing from Hull. Work the space. Never heard of him. He wouldn't turn up for a battle royal. Nah. I live near Cambridge and go to uni in Hull. I know a lot of people who go to uni in Hull. I guess, is there a big uni in Hull? I don't really know what Hull's known for. Right, we've got an £850,000 left back that we've never played so far. I think this is a good opportunity to play him. We are rotating the team a little bit here, actually. Through no fault of my own, I have just asked my assistant manager to do a slight rotation. I'm fairly happy with that. We'll just stick with that. Birmingham, I think, are a team challenging us for promotion. But yeah, we can adapt to any situation. Matt Deakin's just being rested. Da Silva Lopez needs games. And yeah, we're going to approach this fixture just like any other. Oh, I tell you what, Pepsi Max makes me burp more than Coke Zero does. Nottingham's the worst. Greenie, you live next door to the prison in Nottingham. Interesting, because Anna's mum lives next door to the prison in Nottingham. So I wonder if you're Anna's brother or something, and we just haven't realised it. Because I have met her brothers. Have you ever met me? But do I look familiar to you, Greenie? But her mum's garden sort of backs onto the prison wall. So, yeah, you might well know each other. Andy really wants to go to Wolverhampton because they have trams there and he likes the look of them. And I keep trying to convince him I really don't want to go there. Wouldn't go to Luton, but it would be cheaper to go there and get the train to London. I guess it's fairly cheap to get the train into London from here, though. I'll just stay here. I mean, Peterborough, don't get me wrong, Peterborough's a dump. Next door or in. Wow. Get a sponsor from Coke to say bad things about Pepsi. Whichever. I mean, if Panda Pops want to sponsor me, I'll start drinking their fizzy pop. I don't care who it is. I just want a sugar-free beverage company to, I mean, even just to send me free cans of fizzy. I don't even need them to pay me. Just give me free beverages and I'll smack talk about all the other drinks companies all day long. If you hang around in Luton for an hour or something, it's all right. Maybe. I was kind of just passing through. I did my teacher training at the University of Bedfordshire, but in the Bedford campus. But one day I had to go over to Luton to return a library book. And it was just, I just remember it being a really unpleasant experience. Dr. Pepper, Coke or Pepsi. Dr. Pepper all day long. Does Panda Pops not exist anymore? Whiskers, have you just broken my mind? Does Panda Pops really not exist anymore? It must do. Where am I from? I'm from Peterborough. Yeah, which is the only thing I know about Peterborough is it has by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. I know about it because that's in a song that is sung. Get a sponsor from No More Tea Bags. What's No More Tea Bags? Am I confused? Loki teased one. I don't understand. Did you hear about the youth that got arrested? Oh, why am I reading out dad jokes? Sometimes they sneak up on me and I don't notice who's written it. You live in... Oh, look at you showing off now. You live in California. I wish I did. Panda Pops has gone. That's shaken me a little bit that Panda Pops don't exist anymore. Does anyone still make Dandelion and Burdock then? Can you still buy Dandelion and Burdock? I never liked it. I never really understood what it was for. But when I was a kid, if they had nothing else in the corner shop, you'd have a Dandelion and Burdock. I've just realised we're not playing Ricky Martin in this game and no one told me about it. I feel like we might have to do a reload jobby because we've played a game without Ricky Martin. Part of my geography GCSE coursework was based on Peterborough. What on earth could that have been about? I mean, the prison's got high walls. It doesn't make people feel that uncomfortable. It's a big walls and stuff. Peter is a mighty fine team. Tesco does Dandelion and Burdock. So does Morrison's. That's all right then. Yes, I do remember Clear Pepsi. I don't know that I ever had it, but I remember it existing. Isn't it coming back? I heard it was coming back. I'm glad that supermarkets still do Dandelion and Burdock. That's fine. Yeah, cream soda. I never really understood that one either. It was just like fizzy vanilla. Is that what cream soda is? I don't understand. Part of the unit was on migration. Apparently 1 in 10 people in Peterborough are immigrants. Maybe. I guess. Well, if you're telling me, I guess it's true. Tab tasted so odd. See, I remember the cans, I think. Probably just from YouTube videos. But I don't actually remember tasting Tab. Tab Clear. I remember the advert, certainly. Right, let's rest some of these players. Or all of these players. Try not to break them all. GCSEs always include Peterborough. You are? The ones I used to teach don't. But then they are computing. So how much Peterborough can you really include? Oh, this Pepsi Max has given me such terrible, terrible gas. Just joined the Fantasy League. I have picked my team yet. I did a YouTube video on it earlier today where I show everyone my team. So if you want to see my team, you can have a look at it. Let me know down in the comments or in the chat to this video what's rubbish about it. And I can use everyone's ideas to make it better before it all gets started. Right, so we've got a link to No More Tea Bags. Let's see what No More Tea Bags is. If this is going to be like powdered tea, I'm already not on board with this. Because that's just wrong. Right, No More Tea Bags. Liquid instant tea. What the... Makes 20 cups of hotter, tastier tea. No soggy tea. What is this nonsense? If you're from No More Tea Bags, send me a freebie and I'll review it on the vlog. And then I'll pass judgment. I mean, to be fair, I have got Easy Cheese, so it's not that much of a stretch that I would try No More Tea Bags as well. So I could do a whole episode on just things in cans that shouldn't be in cans. That feels like a vlog that's got YouTube monies written all over it. Let's just send all this lot away on whatever they're supposed to be doing. Got in trouble flying my drone because of prison. Yeah, you probably would get in trouble flying a drone over a prison. How do I get in touch for a collab? Yeah, Matt, just send me a message through Patreon. Or Twitter, or Facebook, or email me, or just catch me when I'm not doing a stream and we'll chat and it'll be fine. Spotty Scotty, I used to work at your school. Hi. Cool. Did I get the announcer job for Posh? I didn't. It was announced. Well, I don't know if it's been announced, actually. I got an email earlier today saying they were giving it to another guy. Very sad. Ask Loki. What has Loki had? Has Loki had a freebie that I haven't had? Not sure how I feel about that. Just because he's got like 5,000 more subscribers now and consistently gets twice as many views as I do. That doesn't seem like a reason to give him the freebies and not me. Thoughts on McDonald's as a club? Do they count as a club? I feel not happy. I actually have a stronger dislike of McDonald's, than I do of either Northampton or Cambridge, who are in theory are the ones we're supposed to dislike the most. But I just can't stand them. Thoughts on Barnsley? No opinion, really. Neither like nor dislike. Pizza in a can, if that's real, I'll have some. Yeah, a few of the... My fantasy team is a bit iffy. I threw it together in like 10 minutes. Mainly on players I recognised from Football Manager. I'll watch some of JNO United's videos and learn how to pick a proper team. Yeah, the kit. I spent more time designing the kit for my FPL team than I did on actually picking the team. Loki is the creator of Tea in a Can. Is he, by golly? Well, in that case, he needs to give me a freebie, doesn't he? We sent Loki a freebie because he was on Boozy. I'm so confused. Did Loki really invent tea in a can? I feel like that's probably not true. Thoughts on Southend? Used to think they were great. Growing less and less impressed with them as they continue to ignore my emails about getting my shirt signed. Makes me really sad. Right, let's get Ricky Martin into the team like he should have been all along. And then Leo da Silva Lopez can come back onto the bench. And then other than that, we'll leave the team as is. Dr. Pepper and a dislike of MK. Kev stocks are going up. Excellent stuff. How do you do the kit on FPL? I think you have to be on the website rather than on the app. Loki didn't create it. I suspected he probably didn't. But, you know, you have to check these things. People don't realise that I invented Easy Cheese. So, you know, perhaps that's their way into Football Manager YouTube. You have to invent something in a can that shouldn't be in a can, and then they give you a YouTube channel. I've had no luck at all getting any signatures on my pink Southend shirt. I am, however, hoping to get the first signature on there in September from a employee of a company that make games that might be relevant. There's going to be an event soon. Further details to follow. There'll be YouTubers there. There'll be people from Sports Interactive there. It'll be cool. No more information. Burger in a can. No, I've had that on the vlog before. There is a vlog episode where we had burgers in a can. Ricky Martin's got an injury. Soup in a can. Soup in a can? That's madness. What's the best Peterborough team? My local team was best in the 80s. We were at I mean, it depends what generation you're from. I guess my dad would say the best Peterborough team was the one from the 70s that was awesome. I would say, I mean, our highest ever league position was 10th in what's now the Championship. Back in the early 90s, that was a good team. We got, I think we're the only team in the history of English football who've gone from Division 4 to Division 1 in 2 seasons, because we went up from Division 4 into Division 3, and then the Premier League came in and they changed the division names, so we went Division 4 to Division 1 in 2 years. That was pretty cool. But I think the best team has to be the one that had George Boyd, Craig McHale-Smith, Aaron McLean, Lee Tomlin, all them lot. The team from like 5 years ago that Darren Ferguson managed. It was just an exceptional football team, and we were so unlucky to get relegated from the Championship with a massive points total. Just last day of the season, horror. And yeah, if we hadn't have got relegated that year, oh, how different things might have turned out. But as it was, we went down. Couldn't afford to keep churning out awesome players. And now here we are. Southend announced their kit over the weekend. Is it still pink? If not, who cares? Yeah, exactly. Whatever team had George Boyd in. Specifically that one. He was in a lot of teams. He played in some pretty poor teams, but that was a very good team. Frecklington. Goodness me. I guess he was part of the really, really good team, but more by default than by being really good. He was definitely the weak link. Right, let's switch all this stuff up. We're going to keep Ricky Martin on even though he's injured, because he's that kind of man. Pepsi Max in a can. Excellent stuff. I do remember Kelvin Langmead. I don't recall ever understanding what he was, though. John Cena is the lead in the new Transformers film. Awful choice. Is it? I guess he's just transitioning into being an actor, isn't he? He's getting a bit old for the wrestling now. So I mean, I don't like the Transformers film, so I don't really care. Jordan Todd. That was the name of the player we were trying to remember the other day. Excellent. George Boyd does well wherever he goes. George Boyd will be player of the season this year. Is it Sheffield Wednesday he went to? He'll be the best player at the club, because he's the best. He's been the best player at every club he's ever played for, because he's an absolute hero. And he's just one of the finest footballers to ever grace the grass. Kanga FM, thank you very much for popping in. Your support, as ever, much appreciated. Toodle pip. Did you see the link for weird things you can get in a can? I don't think I did. Desperate to know what old firm he likes. Me? No opinion on either of them. It's just Scottish football, isn't it? Who really cares? That's not me dissing Scottish football. I don't really care about the Premier League either. Cornish pasty in a can. Anything that's supposed to be crispy shouldn't be canned. What new changes would you like to see in FM18? Am I going to do a video on it? I won't do a video on it, I wouldn't have thought. Because, I don't know. I'm not that bothered. I mean, it's for several years now, it's been just about the perfect game. I'd be happy with them just updating the squads and the teams and stuff. They'll do changes and I'll probably like them, but I'm not that bothered. The big change for Football Manager that will be an absolute game changer is when they integrate VR into it, and I can just put a VR headset on when I wake up in the morning, take it off at bedtime, and just spend my days as an actual Football Manager. That would be amazing. Ricky Martin's injured, everybody. Send him to the doctors. And this guy's not fit again. I mean, what? I've never had this before. What is this all about? You sometimes get the odd one here and there, but for the same players to consistently need 2 weeks off, do I just bin him off, send him back to wherever he's on loan from, and sell turns? I don't understand. Right, I think I've looked at this Telegraph article before that has the weird things in a can in it. It's just the one that has like spiders in a can and stuff. Yeah, cheeseburger in a can, chicken in a can. Yeah, I've seen this article before when we were trying to find weird things to eat on the vlog. But then I realised I didn't really want to eat loads of weird things on the vlog. So I stopped looking at the article. Scottish football, who cares, equals triggered. Any football that's not posh, who cares? Is that better? What's your opinion on Maradona? You're about that old. How dare you? For me, it's unforgivable with the drugs and the cheating. The drugs didn't come in until much later, did they? He was a broken man by the time the drugs came in. He was a bit special, though, wasn't he? The cheating... I don't know, the whole hand of God thing. Can you honestly say, if you thought you could get away with it, you wouldn't have done the same thing? I know I would have done. And if the goal's disallowed, the goal's disallowed. It's not his fault the goal stood. But if you know your head's not going to get to the ball and you think you might get away with it, only an idiot wouldn't try, surely. What has to be a bug? Have I missed something? What's your training? Oh, yeah, about the players getting injured. I tell you what, not injured, tired. The training is being set by my idiot of an assistant manager. So I think the time has come for us to sack Johnny Goodwin. Bye-bye now. Johnny Goodwin is gone. Let's search for our 4th assistant manager. How do I do this? It's Job Centre, isn't it? So place an advert for a new assistant manager. And there we go. Sorted. Oh, we're going to play defensive, are we, this game? Who are we playing? It's suggesting I do defensive. Oh, okay, Watford in the EFL Cup. I can understand that. The best thing about Scottish football is being able to say East 5-5, 4-5-4. I'll agree with that. That's amazing. Have you seen the Welsh Prem? Worse than... I genuinely don't think I could name more than one Welsh Premier League team. And I'd probably get their name wrong. Because in my head, they're still Total Network Solutions. Because I think they were that for like a week back in the 90s. I'm not going to exploit any Watford players. We're not good enough to do that. What about sportsmanship? What about it? I'd rather win. The board have blocked Johnny Goodwin's departure? What? I am the board. Let's try mutual termination. And they're going to block that as well. Hold on. Johnny Goodwin has been sacked from his role as assistant manager. He's still assistant manager. Okay. I'm confused now. If you go into international accounts, at least one you can look for... I don't understand what legend of what game. TNS have won how... I don't know how many titles they've won. Probably lots. He can just go to the physio. Kev stop... Yeah, Kev is stopping Kev. I'm not happy about this at all. Right, I need a sip of my Pepsi Max to calm me down after being blocked by myself from sacking a man that I don't want to employ anymore. Despite the media now thinking I've sacked him. And me telling the media he's been sacked. They're the only pro team. I mean, that's just silly. Why only have one professional team in the league? Why don't... this might be a really horribly offensive thing to say to them. Why don't they just play in the English league? If they're the only professional team in the Welsh league, is there a reason they don't just do what Swansea and Cardiff and Wrexham do and just play in England? Is it the English league not letting them? It just seems like it's a bit odd that they'd want to continue just winning that league every year. It just feels a little bit boring. Perhaps I'm missing something really important that I don't know about because I don't know any of the backstory to it at all. But if I was in charge of that club, that's what I would be looking to do every single year. I can't really understand why it's not happening. Did I just hit full rotation for a game against Watford? That's probably a bad idea, isn't it? Let's undo that instruction. Free champs. Well done. Tom Wheeler's saying, who's he saying well done to? Was I right? I'm confused. Rangers beat Sheffield Wednesday yesterday. Oh, in that case, Rangers are excellent. And if they beat a team containing George Boyd, then they're exceptional quality. Cardiff Met Uni. Are they in the Welsh Premier? Well, there you go then. TNS, their ground is in Shropshire. Shropshire in England, is that? So that's even more confusing. I do want him sacked. There's way too much history to go into in a Twitch chat. Fair enough. I assumed there might be a story behind it. That kind of makes sense, I guess. Right, we're not going to play Ross Turns because he's delicate. So we'll bring Ricky Martin in for him. And we'll just leave Turns out of the squad completely for today. I think that's probably best. Ricky Martin's not fit. He still has to play. I don't... Eternal user. I don't know why that would be the case, though. Surely you'd want the competition. It would be better for the club long term. It's tough to get into the English leagues. Rangers and Celtic keep trying to... Do they, though? With Scottish football, it's a little bit different because they are professionals. Yes, there's the two big clubs there, but there's a number of other clubs who are competitive-ish. It's a little bit different, I think, the situation. And you don't already have 3 or 4 massive Scottish clubs playing in the English leagues as setting precedents. Whereas with Wales, when you've got the big Welsh clubs already playing England, it just seems odd that if you're another big Welsh club, you don't choose to do it too. And I don't actually think Rangers and Celtic have made any attempt to play in English football, have they? I don't really know what's in it for them. For them, they're better off competing with each other in front of massive fans, massive numbers of fans, and getting into Europe every year and just racking up the trophies between them. I don't know what the incentive for them to coming to English football is. Because presumably, if they come in, they have to start from the bottom. You can't just let them walk into the Premier League or the Championship. Can you? That's not fair on the teams that are already there. Let them in, but let them come into Conference North. And they're never going to agree to that, so it would never happen. I mean, that would be how I'd let TNS in. Yeah, you can come in, but you play Conference North. And they'd probably agree to it because they can work up from there. Whereas Rangers and Celtic aren't going to do that, are they? There's an English. There is an English team in the Scottish leagues, isn't there? Who is it? I forget. Celtic are in a league where they have more money than everyone else, and I think they're inflated slightly by the lack of competition. I mean, Celtic is a weird one because they do quite well in Europe, don't they? But then you look at the actual squad of players, and you try and pick any of them who would make it into a top half Premier League team, and you realise that as a collection of players, they're not very good. But they do seem to function well as a team, presumably because of the massive support and all that stuff. If Rangers and Celtic joined the Prem, they'd be far more successful than Cardiff or Swansea. Eventually, maybe. As of right now, do they have better squads than those teams, though? Carlisle would be easy to try. They would have to... Ricky Martin appointed as technical... What? I'm so confused. If they came, they'd start from Vanarama and Ashley. Yeah, I think they would have to. Yes, Berwick Rangers. There you go. If they started at the very, very bottom, I mean, Rangers are an example of... I think they probably would race through the leagues in no time. Rangers have just done it in Scotland, haven't they? I don't think it. I think if you put Rangers and Celtic in the Conference North, this is feeling like an experiment I might have to do. But if you put Rangers and Celtic in the Conference North, they're both in the Premier League in 6 years, presumably, because their fans aren't going to go anywhere, are they? That's not. Their fans are so passionate that they're still going to get 50, 60,000 people, however many as they get every week. So they're going to have so much more money than everyone else, much better teams, and they'll just romp through the divisions the way Rangers have just done in Scotland. Rangers would barely be a championship team with their squad right now. Yeah, there you go. But I suppose I don't know where they finished last year. Was that good enough to be top 2, top 3? I guess they only need a team as good as the opposition that's put in front of them. We're about to beat another Premier League team, by the way. Just throw that out there for you. I do get paranoid reading your comments in case it's a dad joke now. Are Watford in League One? No, this is an EFL Cup game. That's why we've got massive attendance. Scott Sinclair succeeded in Scotland. I think that says it all. That's me reading a comment. That's not me saying that. But he was kind of the example I had in my head when I was talking about the players in the squads. Fan bases don't affect quality of the squads. They do to a point. If you've got two teams in the same league, one of them gets 5,000 fans a week, one gets 50,000 fans a week, then over the course of 10 years, the team that gets 50,000 fans a week is going to be better than the one with 5,000 fans a week because they're going to have more money to get better facilities, better manager, better players. I might try it, yeah. Like Fleming says, I might try it out with the editor and see what happens. How many pro players would stay if they had to go down to level 10? Level 10's a little bit different, but... Whoa, there goes little Kev. Little Kev's had enough. He doesn't like this conversation. Deeping Rangers in this example are, we got Chalobah for Deeping Rangers in tier 7 or whatever it was. I don't know who Bento is. Paolo Bento. Are Watford in the Premier League? Have we just knocked out another Premier League team? They are. That's 2 Premier League scalps. We'll just take it one game at a time. But if we win the EFL Cup, this year, I might have one of my Reaper chilies to celebrate. Oh, what did I just say? Little Kev's back. Don't worry. Not R.I.P. He's a little bit scuffed on the toe from hitting the garage floor, but he lives. Just standing back up where he was. Big Kev with the forearm smash to little Kev. I like it. What have we started with the Celtic and Rangers discussion? I think we might have to just do it as an experiment on the YouTube channel. It might be something I have to set up this week just to see what happens. Presumably someone's done it before. Someone must have done this before. Hup love. Goodbye. Thanks for coming by. Colo Torre won the most trophies ever. Guess who he played for? I don't get it. What? I know who he played for. I'm not sure I understand the point. I'm not disputing that Celtic are a very good and dominant team in Scottish football. I just wonder if they would be in English football. Monaco have the lowest number of fans in League One but finished top 3. There's a significant thing about Monaco as a place, though, that means the number of fans they get doesn't necessarily dictate the amount of money they've got. StatApp's done it, has he? I might have a go. Wrexham and now we're getting silly. Keepers has done it as well, has he? And how did it turn out? Who's watched the Keepers experiment and what happens? If you're a player, you'd rather go to a club with 50,000. Yeah, of course you would. How much longer am I streaming for? Probably another half hour or so. I'll be happy to know that Peterborough are walking League One title 10 years in the future. Oh, I'd be so sad if we were still a League One team in 10 years. Premier League team in 10 years. Yeah, exactly. They probably never will play in England because I don't think the English leagues would let them in at the level that they'd agree to come. I don't think Rangers and Celtic would agree to come in the conference, and I don't think the English clubs would let them come in any higher than the conference. So I just don't think it could ever happen. The point about TNS though is I think the English, I don't know why, because I don't know the history, I wouldn't know why they wouldn't just start in the conference and work up. Yeah, like Lucaldo says, with Celtic and Rangers, they don't need to. They're part of a bigger league, a fully professional league with a proper league structure. They don't need to come to English football. Whereas for TNS, there's arguments why they would. Would I rather stay in my studio or hire out an office place? Long term, I think I definitely need to hire an office. Working in my garage is fine at the moment. It's not going to be fine in February when it's freezing cold in here. I think by then I need to have found an office hopefully local, where I can move all my kit over to, that's got some heating, and go and work in there and treat it again like proper business. Thank you, free spending chairman Kevin Chapman. We've got another £11.2 million in the coffers. Can we afford to sack the assistant manager now? There's one way to find out. Johnny Goodwin, come here. Let's have a little chat. And can we fire you? Oh, it hasn't auto-blocked. So perhaps we can now fire him. Now we've had a little investment of some cash. And I've won Manager of the Month. Hooray! Yeah, like Jay says, if the English teams let Celtic in, Celtic wouldn't want to give up on Europe. Exactly. I'll do an experiment where we have TNS, Rangers and Celtic all start in the Conference North or South. I don't know where TNS are. And yeah, we'll see what happens. They still won't let me sack Johnny Goodwin. Rubbish. I think eventually Rangers and Celtic will move to England. The money in the Scottish Premier League is... Yeah, but surely the money from Europe balances that out, doesn't it? If you get into the Champions League, that's more money than playing in the Premier League without Europe would get. I don't know. I'm probably wrong there, actually. TNS would lose their Europa League qualification. How important is Europa League qualification to them, though? Do they ever actually make it beyond a knockout game or two? They don't make it to the group stages, presumably. So does it make that much of a difference to the club? That's me asking the question rather than knowing the answer. So if you do know the answer, feel free to enlighten me. Right, we've got Ricky Martin in again. Ricky Martin is still shattered. This is all good stuff. In my save, Posh have been League One all the time. Oh, no, not in 2036. No. TNS would be South. Okay, that's fine. How about sticking the big Welsh clubs in the Welsh club? I mean, that's another interesting experiment. It'd be interesting to see what that did to the reputation of the league, actually. That's potentially even more interesting than sticking the three of the other clubs into the English league, seeing what happens if you move. Is it just Cardiff, Swansea, Wrexham? Are they the three that play in English football? It'd be quite interesting to do that. Try hiring a new assistant manager because the game auto-sacks the old one. Is that really a thing? I thought it just blocked you from bringing in a new one. Well, I've got the advert out there for an assistant manager, so when we get some applicants, we will try appointing one and see what happens. Kev, how do you think Sheffield United fan channel will be like by the end of this year? I have 66 subs in 2 months and growing constantly. I don't really know how channels like that grow. I only really know my own little niches that I live in. I know about Football Manager. I know about vlogging-ish. So 66 in 2 months sounds pretty good, especially if those 2 months have been 2 months of closed season and it's a channel about football. Presumably you're going to do like match reports and stuff. I don't really know. Sounds promising. Try and get the club involved. In my experience, clubs, apart from Southend, seem quite keen to work with internet-y people. So see if you can interview a couple of players or something. That would get you massive growth. I know there was a podcast for Posh that interviewed our chairman a few years ago, and their podcast just exploded off the back of it because they had an interview with the chairman. It was a really good, interesting interview. Newport County, of course. Newport County as well. JJ Duncan, good night. Thank you very much for coming along. Much appreciated. Merthyr and Colwyn Bay as well, but not sure they're playable. So there's a lot of Welsh teams playing in England, interestingly. Could I do a UK league? Yeah, Tom Wheeler, by all means, do a UK league. I'll do an experiment with that. Give you the credit in the description and all that stuff and thank you for it and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, absolutely. I'd love a UK league to have a play around with. That could be really interesting, especially in light of how Brexit affects the game now. Having a full-on UK league could be really interesting. Did something go wrong with the stream? I don't think so. No one else has mentioned anything. I thought you were doing a save with a global... No, I did do that. The only problem is it was really, really slow to simulate and it was a little bit broken, so I stopped. Kyle doesn't like the idea of a Sheffield United fan channel. Nothing to do with being a Barnsley fan, I'm sure. The only problem is I'm only 15, so I'm not sure I'd be allowed to do interviews. I don't know who's stopping you. I don't know why the club wouldn't let you do interviews, especially if they're over Skype or something. They don't need to know how old you are. Would be my view on that. There's plenty of people on YouTube who are that kind of age. Norwich podcast had Russell Martin. Yeah, there you go. That's a good example. Football clubs generally, they're all about engaging with their fan base. So I don't know. It sounds promising. I presumably there's nothing else out there at the moment that you're competing with. Yeah, get an adult involved with you. So we now have a Barnsley fan and a Sheffield Wednesday fan not keen on this Sheffield United channel. I don't know that you're going to win those two over, but everyone else seems quite happy with it. Right, we might not win this football match, everybody. This is going to be a little bit new. Yeah, too right. Posh missed out with me. We're losing a football match. Hold the phone. We haven't lost a match in the league all season. And now these upstarts at Coventry, what are they thinking? Niambi as well. We had him in Non-League Legend. I forget which team we had him for. I'm sure we had him. Right, we might actually have to do some tactics here. Hold your horses. Let's get this nonsense off the screen. Right, let's go control. Try and attack this game a little bit. We need to score goals. Goals, please. We can't be... I wanted an invincible season. Invincible seasons are my favourite. TJ plays. No worries at all. It's always a pleasure. Yeah, attack, attack, attack. It was Plymouth I had Nam before, was it? There we go. I don't like the fact they're going to score again. Right. Attack. Go for it. Yeah, exactly. What's this losing nonsense? One of the reasons this save worked so nicely on stream is because I didn't really have to concentrate about what was going on. I could just chat with you lot. I can't have it going. I can't have to start thinking about the save. That'd be disastrous. We're going to lose, aren't we? Yeah, I might get sacked in the morning. They'll appoint my assistant manager as manager. I'm going to sack myself and then make the unsackable assistant run the club. Oh, no. No. We've lost a football match. We're only 6 points clear with a game in hand now. And the invincible season is gone. What's the point now? All grumpy. Little Kev, you were a lucky mascot for a long time, but you've blown it. Little Brett. Changing my name to Brett, by the way. This is Little Brett. He's going to help me out with the rest of tonight's stream. Yes, bad day at the office and all that. Have we rested players? We need to rest some players. Rest. There we go. It would be weird if I sacked myself, exactly. No, not Chapman out. Download 500 future save. Posh a Prem. Oh, that would be amazing. I'd love to have Posh in the Premier League just for one season. In my lifetime, I'd like us to have one season in the Premier League. That's all I ask for. I don't think I'd want to be there long term because I don't like the Premier League very much. I think it kind of spoils the fun a little bit. But one season in the Premier League would be awesome. Yeah, Kevin Chapman might have to come into the team. Sim until the end of the year, exactly. I'm not twisting Brett's head off. Bring back Lil Kev. Just going to stand there looking at Brett. No, Little Kev, he's done for the episode. He's not coming back. I might get my pen and fix his shirt while Brett's just standing there holding the... I don't care that Claude Puel's not happy with me. Always a good manager does wonders. Who's a good manager? If Posh came knocking during the save, would you leave Deeping? No. We're in Deeping for the long haul on this one. We're not moving clubs unless we get fired. Posh save next year? Maybe. I have done 2 Posh saves already on YouTube. So I don't know if we'll do another one. I don't want to do the same team every year. I'm thinking we might do Posh on FIFA, maybe. as a career mode thing, maybe. I remember Norwich in Europe with Lee Power in the team and all them. So I've already seen that one. So I'm further forward in the queue. I'll have Posh with a season in the Premier League before Norwich get back into Europe. I think that's only fair. Right, Sheffield Wednesday then. We can't have 2 defeats in a row. We need to get back to winning ways. Maybe a Posh stream save next year. Maybe. That's definitely an option. I'm not sure what to do on the stream when we don't have a thing like this going on. Starting in LLM, have you ever ended up in Posh? Once. And it was the one time I used the random team generator thing that they used to have on the old LLM forum. So I started at a Swiss team and eventually made it to Posh and won the Champions League with Posh, and it was very cool. Gemma84, hello, how are you? First robotic Kev, now little Kev gone. Big Kev doesn't like it. I don't like other Kevs. I'm very, very funny about it. That's why I'm so unhappy. That's why I've got Chairman Kev and Player Kev in this club with me, because I want to keep an eye on them. Maybe a big money save. I don't know. All my saves become big money saves. I think, I don't know, the Tottenham towards the end when we were throwing money around this year, people didn't seem like they enjoyed that much. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It seemed it was... I think Non-League Legend this year was more fun when we were spending 18 seasons never winning anything. Tom Wheeler, thank you very much. That's much appreciated. Apparently, I believe Deeney should be sacked. I don't actually remember saying that, but perhaps I did. What was a horrible season? Oh, I've seen Cardiff in the Prem once. I'm happy. I see. Been playing a Tottenham save, Kev. Man, you messed their finances up. They were fine by the end. As long as you win a couple of Champions Leagues, the finances sort themselves out. It's fine. Oh, we're having another game rearranged, are we? Not one of these two, so that's fine. Journeyman around the lower leagues. Again, that's pretty much... I mean, it's what we did this year. It's just we didn't really get offered anything abroad. So it was... by definition, a journeyman save. We were journeying around. We were moving from club to club. It's just the only time we started getting offered clubs abroad. Well, we got them. We got Hamilton and we got Tor. But then the jobs we were offered were in England on the whole. So it's just how it ended up being. Hope Hull City bounce back up to the Prem this coming season. I drove past several what looked like football stadiums in Hull this weekend. I don't know which one was their football stadium and which ones were for rugby or whatever it was. But there's lots of stadium-y type things in Hull. So that was fun. Right, let's... Maybe journeyman starting in a certain league, then moving around. Maybe east to west. I don't like having really artificial rules on it, though. I like to keep the realism in there, so having a moving east to west rule feels a little bit too much like a game. And I know it is a game, but I don't enjoy it when I think of it as a game. I enjoy it when I pretend it's real, and I wouldn't be able to pretend it's real if I started in Croatia and moved through clubs alphabetically or whatever. It just wouldn't feel right. Same with the African leagues. I don't know. Oh, Gemma84. Thank you very much. That's massively appreciated. Thank you. We need a love shower, everybody. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Thank you. PSV save with the Mexican wonder kid Lozano in the team. Maybe. Journeyman working from A to Z. Yeah, let's do it. Alphabet, one season at every club. I mean, there's a few little... I don't know, I think the silly saves fit better on Twitch. Because I think there has to be... In my head, there has to be that edge of realism on YouTube for the more casual viewer who doesn't live in Kev's weird fantasy world that you lot who come here and watch me on a Monday evening when Game of Thrones is on live in. You lot get it. You'd understand a weird save, but I don't know. I worry that your casual watches the odd Football Manager video here and there person who just sort of turns up, watches a video, see they're not going to get it if I do something weird with weird rules. So I think there has to be that element of realism on YouTube. Whereas over here we could potentially do a let's go through the alphabet, start the day FM18 comes out. Right, we're going to do one season with a club that begins with A somewhere in the world. Now we're going to do a season with a team that begins with B, and just move one season per team, go through the whole alphabet. Something silly like that would work really well on Twitch, but not so much on YouTube, I don't think. Play a team from the worst rated league on the game and work up to the best rated league. It's hard to manage though, and without having an editor involved, it's quite hard to make that happen, I think. Because like we found with getting the Bayern Munich job in my YouTube save this year, it took 6 or 7 months of not really doing anything for a decent job to become available. And if I had to think, oh, there's a job, but it's not the next rung up on that ladder, you could be waiting 2 or 3 seasons between jobs to get offered the right job by the right club in the right country, and it just starts to become really complicated. I have the biggest case of money-grabbing agent. I had an offer accepted for a German fullback. Agent wants £13 million fee. Wow! That's awesome. Yeah, I'll be watching Game of Thrones straight after this. Any Game of Thrones spoilers, instant bans from Twitch forever. Normal non-league to legend with British-only players. That's an option. With no British-only players, that's less of an option. AC Milan, Barcelona. What's happening there? Is that suggestions for teams I can manage? Nation challenge with Gibraltar. Work to Space already did that, didn't he? I'm not going to try and compete with him. It's not fair on him. You've only seen the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. You must go and watch the rest immediately. Would you? I don't even buy the in-game editor or download it, whatever you have to do with it, because when I was a kid, I used to mess around with the editors and stuff, and I don't want the temptation. I don't want... Before I started doing YouTube, I've mentioned this on the stream before, like last year, I was hounded out of the LLM forum, the Lower League Manager forum, on the SI website, because I was accused of cheating. It's very similar to the Stat App YouTube scenario, where accusations of cheating were flying around. I'd like to point out I wasn't cheating. But when you've got when you have the editor on there and coincidences happen, it's really hard to prove you didn't use it. I don't think there is. Certainly 6 or 7 years ago when all this happened, there wasn't a way to prove. So, I mean, it wasn't like trying to prove it to Sports Interactive programmers who could go in and check. There wasn't a way to prove to other people that I didn't use the editor. And I just think if I'm doing a YouTube save or a Twitch save, just having that little editor button on the screen up here just plants that little seed of, is this all legit? And I don't think I'd want that seed to be possible to be planted. So I don't think I'd really want the editor on there. I've never seen Rick and Morty. I hear good things about it, but I've never had the time or inclination to go and watch it. What was I was accused of using the editor to cherry pick the best players in the game, because basically it was the season that I started in Switzerland and ended up at Posh and we won the Champions League, and because we'd gone in like 25 seasons from the rock bottom to winning the Champions League like 3 times in a row with Posh, and I was doing my updates every season on there. A couple of people were saying, look, there's no way this is legit. You're not playing by LLM rules. You can't do it the LLM way and have that kind of success. And I was, well, yeah, I am. I'll send you my file. You can have a look at it. So I sent my file to one of the moderators on that forum who looked at it. He loaded it up using the in-game editor. And apparently, when you sorted it according to potential ability using the in-game editor, my squad had something like 10 of the top 20 potential ability players in the whole game, which meant that I must have been cheating, because there was no way I could have possibly assembled a squad like that without using the in-game editor to pick the ones that had the best potential ability, regardless of the fact we'd won the Premier League like 6 times in a row. I had the best scouts in the game, and I was just signing all of the 5-star potential ability players that I could get in. We had a massive squad. None of that was taken into account. It was all very much, well, you've got half of the wonder kids in the game. Obviously, you're cheating. Go away. And I was banned from the forum, and that was that. The thread was deleted. There was still another. I think it was my. In fact, I couldn't have been banned from the forum because I did another save on there the following year. But I was kind of told in no uncertain terms that I wasn't updating that save anymore. Very sad, because I loved that save. So yeah, no hard feelings or anything. I'm not bitter, but because of that, I don't think I'd want there to be any way for anyone to doubt the legitimacy of a save I was doing. Doing non-league to legend series, trying to work yourselves down the leagues and ruin a team. I don't even have to try. I did that twice this year's non-league to legend. We made it up to the championship twice before we actually made it out of the championship in the right direction. I think it was twice, wasn't it? Kev considered Moneyball save. I've thought about it. I don't fully understand how it works, but what I do know about it, I don't think I'd enjoy it very much. Gunner Mia. That's a perfect example of why I don't want the in-game editor on there. The backdoor Champions League entry with Bayern. If I had that little editor button on the screen, no one in a million years is going to believe, oh, what a coincidence. No, Brett's gone. Little Kev's back. What a coincidence. Someone failed financial fair play. Oh, surprise, surprise. You didn't just press the editor and fail it for him, Kev. Yeah, so that's a perfect example of why I don't want that editor button on there. But if I used the editor, wouldn't I pick all 20? Of course I'd pick all 20. And if I used the editor, I'd just change the potential ability of the ones I already had. I wouldn't worry about spending all that money. TJ plays. What should I say to the club? I don't really know how to approach it. I would just say to him, look, I'm doing a YouTube fan channel. It's early days, but it seems to be getting it's getting noticed already. People are starting to watch the videos. We're generating a few subscribers. I think it would be really cool if we could get the club involved in some way. If you got any of the playing or even non-playing staff who'd be interested in just having a quick chat. Could even be before a game or after a game or over the phone on Skype. Is there anyone who'd be willing to chat with me, even if it's just your press officer or somebody? Just try and get your foot in the door. Or is there? Could I bring a video camera down to the club? This is something I did with Posh like 5 or 6 years ago. I mentioned it on my behind the scenes vlog that I did last week. When I was doing my podcast 5 or 6 years ago, we used to ring up football clubs all the time and say, look, I do this podcast where I go around the country looking at different football grounds. Would it be okay for me to come to your ground with a video camera and just have a little look around? And clubs always agreed. We went round 10, 12 clubs before my car blew up. And my car blew up the day before we were going to Old Trafford for a free stadium tour. But yeah, clubs just agreed to it. And so that could be your starting point with them. Ring them up and say, look, I'm doing this thing. Would it be okay for me to bring my camera down to the ground, film the changing rooms, sit in the dugout with a camera pointing at my face, and just anything to work with the club and get your foot in the door and start building a relationship with the people who work there. That would be how I'd approach it, certainly. Yeah, Casimir, I'm not entirely sure what a Moneyball save was. What is... I know, yeah, second yellow card's Midtjylland save was Moneyball based, and I didn't really understand what was going on with that. It was the one of his saves that I didn't really get into. I used to really enjoy second yellow card stuff, but that one was a little bit too confusing for my simpleton's mind. You can turn the editor off when you start a save. Can you really? What, and that takes the icon away as well? So people can't see that you even own the editor? Because if that's the case, it would be fun. Like this deeping experiment, it would have been really handy to have the in-game editor so that we could have a look at like the youth players and stuff as when we were in the experiment stage. But I just assumed once you had it, and that was that. But if you can turn it off and it disappears completely, that's worth considering. Yeah, I would love to see second yellow card back involved in YouTube in some way. maybe one day. I know he's lost a lot of weight doing his FIFA exercise bike thing, which is really cool. TJ, glad again, happy to help. Yeah, sounds awesome. Why does it ruin player search? I mean, to be fair, I don't really do player searches, but why does it ruin player searches? Oh, okay, so you can turn off the editor, but even once you turn it off, you can still search by current ability and potential ability. I'm probably not going to bother then. I just don't want the temptation, and I don't want the any doubt about the legitimacy. Yeah, second yellow card Wimbledon save was awesome. Agreed. Disable use of in-game editor is an option. Interesting. What happened to second yellow card? He was just a combination of not being very well and not really enjoying doing it anymore. I think around the time FM17 came out, we did a little podcast thing with him, and I think it was him, Ben, and One True Nerd. I think the four of us did a little chat together, and it was the first thing second yellow card had done on YouTube for months. And he said then that he just kind of wasn't enjoying doing it anymore, decided he'd rather spend his time doing something else. I mean, he was pumping out a huge amount of content. There was a time for a good sort of 6 months, maybe even a year, where he had 2 saves on the go constantly and a video for each coming out every single day. I mean, that's an incredible amount of work. I just don't know how he managed to do it. And the quality as well, where he did his little highlight packages, the time and effort that goes into doing that. People say I work hard at all this, but I've got nothing on someone like second yellow card when he was at his prime of pumping out content of that quality that regularly. I just don't know how he managed to fit that in, and I can understand why he got a little bit burnt out with it all. I'd like to see him back. I don't know. I think he's probably moved on from it now, though. It's been a long time. He's got other things in his life going on now. Hey, Leo da Silva Lopez with a goal. Have we made substitutions in this game yet? We haven't. Ricky Martin, we're just going to break this man. He's playing every minute of every game and he's just shattered all the time. But I'm not taking him off. Why would I take him off? It's crazy talk. Right, let's make a couple of substitutions. Hugo Logan playing all the way back there. There you go. Ross Turns getting a little rest again. Do I have any collabs with other FM YouTubers in the pipeline? Yes, I do. Maybe face-to-face one with quite a similar face. Maybe in Nottingham, maybe in September. Who knows? Maybe we've got some other stuff planned as well. Wouldn't possibly like to discuss that publicly at the moment, though. It'd be so unprofessional of me to bring up... I think it's the 16th of September in Nottingham with Loki. But I'm not mentioning any of that at the moment. I've tried background music before. The problem with background music is I want to be able to put this straight onto YouTube as well. And I want the replays. And when I have background music on, it mutes the sound, which breaks it a little bit. Yeah, it would be awesome for second yellow card to come back in any way. I'll definitely try and get him on my FM18 launch thing again, like I did last year with the FM17 one. Bring him out of retirement for one night only. Hashtag spoilers. I said nothing. You got no proof. Hi Kev, massive fan of. It's very nice of you to say, Jamie. Thank you very much. My script writers will be delighted to hear that. Right, final substitution. I think we are going to call it a day after this game, because I've just noticed the time and I've got to get my vlog uploaded yet. I keep bringing this up, but rename Da Silva Lopez. I can't rename him. He's an actual real life posh player. I announced his name for real last week. Couldn't possibly change his name. In the Non-League to Legend series, has your hero Mario Piero moved to Spain with you? Don't think so. Where did we sign him on loan? Was that Bayern or was that Atletico? I don't actually remember where we signed him. I don't think we've taken him to Atletico. It would be awesome if you would team up with Loki Doki around September. It would be quite good fun. I might look into setting something up. Kev, streaming. What is this madness? Uber Leap Ben, you're supposed to be around for every minute of every stream I do, aren't you? I thought them's was the rules. So, you've missed like 2 hours of this now. Ricky Martin is an advanced playmaker. Yeah, that's why he's playing defensive midfield. 33-year-old Italian central midfielder, freestyle quality, who played 4.5 years. Played 4.5 years, wants to go home. Let him go. Why not? Once they want to go, let them go. Who will be my beta save in FM18? I haven't decided yet. The last 2 years, I've put it up to a vote. So I think we'll probably do a vote, but it'll be a little bit nearer the time. And I'm going to rule out clubs that we've done before. So there'll be no... Who have we done before? We did Tottenham and Liverpool and Everton have been our beta saves that we've done so far. So we'll rule those ones out. Maybe do top 6 Premier League. Do a vote. And the top 2 then become the beta save and also the FIFA career mode save maybe or something. We'll figure something out. Ruben Irabarren's still at Spurs. He's still a hero. Turtle come over. That's very nice of you to say. Stream notifications is a good plan. We're streaming 3 times a week, 9 o'clock. We'll be back on Thursday. I think we are going to call a night on the stream here for tonight. Yes, Pepsi Max is a wonderful thing, but we are going to call it there. Thank you to everyone who's been involved in the stream tonight. It's been awesome, good fun again. I'm really getting into this streaming lark. I'm liking the stream routine. The next part of this series will be on YouTube, 4 o'clock on Thursday, as a little preview towards Thursday night stream. So the next stream is going to be Thursday at 9 p.m. And then if you're planning your calendar for the rest of the week, this week is going to be Thursday and then Sunday, 9 p.m. both days. We are going to settle down into a regular weekly streaming routine at some point. It's just not going to be in the next few weeks, because over the next few weeks, I've got summer in the city and a little weekend away and insomnia and e.g. I don't know, there's so much stuff coming up. We'll figure it out. But for now, for this week, 9 o'clock Thursday, 9 o'clock Sunday. Obviously, check out all the YouTube stuff. Get involved in the FPL League, which you can find all the details for over on YouTube. And thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'm going to go and probably have another can of Pepsi Max. Cheers, folks. It's been awesome once again.